Hey, it's Mr. Felling, and since you're in AP Calc BC now, I wanted to talk to you about a math class you can sign up for next year called Honors Calculus 3 Differential Equations. Honors Calculus 3 Differential Equations is a fascinating look at how we can use some of the main concepts from calculus in new and really interesting ways. Here are a few things you should know about Honors Calc 3 Differential Equations. It's the next course in the series for calculus and is required for many technical majors in college. You can take it for college credit as a real Salato dual enrollment class or just for high school credit, but it's not an AP class. And that means that we don't have to try to prep for an AP exam. Our tests can be like regular math class tests, and we aren't as concerned about things like formatting as we are in AP Calculus or AP Statistics. So most students find this class to be a lot less stressful than AP Calc BC, and certainly the workload is a lot lighter than what you're experiencing now. In fact, the calculus we need you to know for Calc 3 is mainly the stuff you learned back in brief calculus, just how to take derivatives and compute basic integrals. We'll focus on, in Calc 3, is exploring how these main concepts work when we consider things in 3 dimensions. That means that the ideas we get to learn are very useful in college majors like engineering, physics, all the sciences, and economics, and of course mathematics. For example, you've learned that the derivative of position is velocity and the derivative of velocity is acceleration, but in Calc 3 we can use vectors to see how that works for motion along an arbitrary path through 3D space. And we can take that idea of vectors and talk about vector fields, where we can define a vector at every point in space. These vector fields can represent things like water or airflow or maybe electric or magnetic fields. And then we learn about new concepts like divergence and curl, which describe how the fields behave. In fact, everything we know in physics about electromagnetism is encapsulated in just 4 equations called Maxwell's equations, which are written in the language that we learn in Calc 3. In second semester, in the differential equations part of the course, we study equations that contain derivatives. That allows us to model any situation where how fast something is changing depends upon the quantity or rate of change of something else. So a classic example of that would be a predator-prey scenario, like the population of foxes and rabbits, which are complexly interrelated. And we can model how these populations might change over time with a differential equation. This allows us to use something called a phase diagram to look at which system states are stable and which are unstable. This has applications besides just in STEM fields. So for example, in economics, where people are studying the behavior of groups of people, differential equations appear frequently. I think Honors Calc 3 is a fascinating class, and I believe you would enjoy taking it. But don't just take my word for it. Here are some comments from students who have taken the course. All right, so I'd like to encourage you to sign up for Honors Calc 3 Differential Equations when you fill out your course request for next year. Honors Calculus 3 is the first semester class, and Differential Equations is the second semester class. They're taken as a pair. And I hope to see you next year.